What punches your card? There's a story behind that. This is your daily message from Chad number 806 to upgrade your mental game today by telling yourself a better story, because the most important story you hear is the story you tell yourself. Yesterday, we discussed the meaning of it all in a broad, big picture way, but let's consider this on a personal level. Where do you find validation day to day? Parking is sometimes validated when you use a space while visiting a place. The garage ticket will get punched for free. You get a pass. I think each day we have an invisible card that we want punched. I've talked about the pillow test before. When we lay our head down at night, there's a whisper in our head that says, "I'm glad I did," or "I wish I had." Validation comes from two places, inside or outside. Warren Buffett uses the terms inner scorecard and outer scorecard. His parents were examples of each. His mom, Lila, was driven by the esteem of others. She was always worrying about what the neighbors would think. She needed others to punch her ticket. Warren's dad, Howard, on the other hand, didn't care what others thought. Warren called him a maverick. When Howard lost his job at the bank during the Great Depression when the stock market crashed, what did he do? He became a stockbroker and opened his own firm. That seemed ludicrous at the time, but Howard went his own way. Buffett has posed his scorecard analogy this way. Would you rather be the world's greatest lover, but have everyone think you are the world's worst lover? Or would you rather be the world's worst lover, but have everyone think you're the world's greatest lover? Now that's an interesting question, he says. Here's another one. If the world couldn't see your results, would you rather be thought of as the world's greatest investor, but in reality have the world's worst record, or be thought of as the world's worst investor when you are actually the best? In teaching your kids, I think the lesson they're learning in a very, very early age is what their parents put the emphasis on. If all the emphasis is on what the world's going to think about you, forgetting about how you really behave, you'll wind up with an outer scorecard. Obviously, Buffett is an inner scorecard guy. The better story to tell yourself is, I'm not seeking validation from the outside. No one has higher standards for me than myself. Personal meaning can only come from two places. Are you relying on what someone else thinks as grounds for whether you feel good? You don't need the approval or applause of anyone else to feel valid. The word valid etymologically means sufficiently supported. It's based upon legal terminology for how strong and well-grounded something is. What will you do today to support yourself? Tell me a story of how people seek validation to fromchadsmith@gmail.com. Will you send this to someone you think would benefit from the story right now? You can download my book, The Most Powerful Story in the World, by going to fromchad.gumroad.com. The transcript of this message and hundreds of others are always available at www.fromchad.com.